Hello YouTube! It's been a long time, but I am back with another Leaving Fundamentalism vlog, and I must say you are looking very lovely today. The whole time that I've been doing the vlog, I've been saying, not everyone agrees with me on this, there's another point of view to be given here. Please, if you support accelerated Christian education, write a guest post and I will publish it giving the other side of the story. Several people have left comments on my blog where they have told me that I am an idiot or where they have said that ACE is very good. And so I've said, great, I'm glad that you disagree because I could do with someone presenting the other side of the case here. Please write a guest post for me, and no one has done it. I have here today to present the other side of the story. Me. Not me now, because I would vomit before I would defend accelerated Christian education, but me then. This video is me as an 11-year-old explaining why accelerated Christian education is the best thing ever. I am also joined by irrefutable proof of creationism in the form of my pet dinosaur, Gordon. Gordon, as you can see, is a Stegosaurus, and he is a year old. So clearly, take that, Darwin. Here is the child me.
I started my new school just last term, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it.
The system allows you to work at your own pace. Funny enough, the books that we use are called paces. And what you do is you set yourself goals, which is good because, you know, if you're, say, a very intelligent child, then you would be able to, like, say sometimes you were held up in class by the special needs child at the back of the class who's struggling with this piece of work, and the teacher doesn't want to move on until everyone's finished so that we don't get held up at the end of term. Well, or you're that child who's under pressure because of the very able child at the top who's waiting to move on. This system doesn't work like that. The school has PACES, Packet of Accelerated Christian Education. It's under the ACE system, which is Accelerated Christian Education. It's Christian, that's the other good thing. Fits in with us. And you just set yourself your goal in each subject for the morning. And you work to it. And no one can hold you up because you're not working as a class. We each have our own little area. And in the morning, that's where we work. We have all our own things, our own nice pens, our own folders, our own books, our own Bible, everything. And we just get out our little paces and we work through them. And no one can hold us up.
Now that video is actually misleading because it makes it seem as though when I was talking I had been attending the school the whole time, but that's not actually true. The way that was shot, all but the first sort of 10 seconds of that I filmed like the day before I started at the school, when I was trying on my uniform for the first time and I was excited about going. Only the shot at the beginning of me leaving the school and the voiceover with me saying that I'm really enjoying it and it's brilliant is from after I started the school. The points that I made were that accelerated Christian education offers individualised learning and that it allows you to work at your own speed, and they appear to be the most attractive features of accelerated Christian education. So never mind the content. Accelerated Christian education as a means of teaching children. Is it a good idea to put children at desks for the majority of the working week where they work in silence, isolated from other pupils, on worksheets that are pre-written, that are based on an operant conditioning theory of learning? The basis for accelerated Christian education is the work of B.F. Skinner that he did on operant conditioning, the kind of thing where you want to teach a parrot to speak, so you give it a nut when it does what you want it to do. That's the theory that accelerated Christian education is based on. It's this behaviourist idea that I can manipulate your behaviour with rewards and punishments. In my view, that's just an unethical way to try and teach children anything. Children are not animals, they're not lab rats. You can't say, I'm going to manipulate you into doing this. You have to account for inner thought life, and any kind of educational approach which is based on behaviourism isn't going to take that into account. That's the first thing. The second thing is an individualised curriculum that is entirely pre-written from start to finish is never going to work because every child is different. You can't design a curriculum from scratch for every child in the world ever, which is what ACE attempts to do, and think that it's going to work for all of them. It isn't. If you've got a course of 144 English packets, which is the ACE English syllabus, and you say, well, this allows children to work at their own speed. No, it doesn't, because some of those children are going to need to go over some of that material a few times, and some of them aren't. Some of them are barely going to need to see it. The number of exercises that you have to teach something. Let's say that I'm trying to teach you how to recognise a prepositional phrase. I might need to give you 5 examples before you get it, or I might need to give you 500 examples before you get it, and there is no way that I can design a course in advance for all children and guarantee that it's going to work for all of them. In fact, it's going to work for none of them, and they're wasting their time, and it's depressing and frustrating because you're going over the same material over and over again. This is assuming that ACE's method of just teaching grammar as isolated exercises is a good one, which it isn't. Grammar needs to be taught in context, not isolated. And one of the things that happens tons in the ACE English programme is this system of diagramming sentences. I need to show you what this is like so you can get a sense of how horrific this is. I'm back. Alright, so diagramming sentence. ACE is completely useless. What we have to do is identify each part of the sentence. So ACE is the subject. So we have a line like a horizontal line and a vertical. The subject goes on the left-hand side. ACE is the subject. The verb goes on the right-hand side, is. And then we have an adjective at the end to describe ACE. ACE is useless. Completely is the word that's remaining. Completely is an adverb which describes useless. Is now this sentence is diagrammed. Now I realise there's something ironic about claiming that ACE is useless while demonstrating something that ACE taught me. But what the hell is the point of that? What possible value does that have? That is the biggest waste of my time ever. I did hundreds, I'm not exaggerating, I did hundreds of those sentences. Why? I could write a sentence in English that made sense beforehand, and I can write a sentence in English that makes sense now. It had absolutely no net result difference on my ability with the English language. But anyway, even if that weren't a waste of time, which is actually slightly aside from my point, I said I was going to stay away from content here. Let's say that the exercises were really useful. The fact remains that different students are going to need different numbers of them. And you can't write a syllabus in advance that's going to work for everybody in that way. It's not going to happen. Second of all, individualised learning sucks because it's boring and depressing being in an isolated environment all the time. A big part of the reason why you go to school is socialisation, and it's not enough to say, well, we do that in break time. It's not enough to say that because it matters about learning how to cooperate in different areas, and also peer learning is a really valuable experience. It improves learning both for the peer that's doing the teaching and the one that's learning from their peer. It's a great way of doing things, and you can't just write that out. Gordon agrees.